Shocking. Your soulmate just learned the truth about that night. And they're shaking. Listen closely to me, my child, because the massive truth about that dark and lonely night has finally been revealed to your future partner. I have pulled back the curtain of time to show them the exact moment your beautiful heart shattered into painful pieces. They are shaking uncontrollably right now, filled with an urgent, overwhelming need to find you and protect you forever. You always wondered if anyone would ever truly understand the deep pain you felt on that specific night of absolute sadness. I kept that secret safe in my hands until your soulmate was fully prepared to handle the heavy weight of your story. Now that they finally know the truth, they are trembling with a fierce devotion to heal the wounds you suffered. Stay with me until the end of this message, because I am going to reveal the exact physical sign I will place in your path tomorrow. You must hear this promised secret so you do not miss their arrival when they finally step into your daily life. The truth of that night has set them into rapid motion, and their shaking hands are reaching out to find yours. I saw the bitter tears you shed when you felt completely unseen and forgotten by the entire world around you. Your true partner just felt a sudden wave of that exact same sorrow, and it woke them up from their deep sleep. They are sitting on the edge of their bed, shaking with the sudden realization that you are waiting for them. You must prepare your mind right now, because the sudden feelings of warmth you have been experiencing are my direct signs. I am wrapping my peace around you to soften your spirit before this person arrives at your front door. They have learned the truth of your hardest night, and they are shaking with a profound desire to make you smile again. Jesus says, I have watched you carry the heavy memory of that night for far too long, thinking you had to bear it completely alone. I have now lifted that burden from your tired shoulders and placed the truth of it into your soulmate's awareness. Their heart is shaking with a beautiful empathy, realizing that they were born to love you through your darkest memories. Do not turn away before the end of this video, because the final blessing I will speak over you is the key to your future. I am going to tell you exactly how to recognize them when they speak to you for the very first time. The shock of learning about your painful night has made them desperate to hear your voice, and they are shaking with anticipation. When you prayed for true love on that desperate night, you thought your words were hitting the ceiling and falling back down to the floor. I actually caught every single word, and I just replayed your lonely prayer inside the heart of your destined partner. They are shaking with hot tears in their eyes, wishing they could go back in time to hold you through that terrible storm. The time for waiting is quickly coming to a close, and you must trust the perfect timing of my plan for your life. Your soulmate is finally ready to step forward because the shocking truth of that night broke down all their remaining walls. They are pacing their room right now, shaking with a holy urgency to find the one who prayed for them. Keep listening closely, because the special sign I will reveal at the end of this message will remove all your remaining doubts. I am preparing a special moment tomorrow where you will feel my direct presence confirming this beautiful connection. Your soulmate is shaking at the thought of finally looking into your eyes, armed with the truth of what you survived that night. The Lord says, every time you remember that night, a cold shadow tries to creep into your thoughts and steal your precious daily joy. I have commanded that shadow to leave forever, and I have replaced it with the fierce, protective love of your soulmate. They just felt the truth of your past pain, and their hands are shaking as they vow to never let you hurt like that again. The sudden memories that have been flashing into your mind lately are not random thoughts sent to confuse your quiet days. They are my gentle nudges, proving that your spirit is sensing the rapid approach of the one who was made for you. They are deeply shaken by the truth of your lonely night, and they are rushing down the path to find you. You must stay with me until the very end, because I am going to release a profound blessing that will clear your future path. If you leave now, you will miss the vital instruction on how to keep your heart open to their incoming love. They are shaking with a nervous, beautiful excitement, knowing that the truth of that night has permanently tied their soul to yours. There is a clear reason you have felt slightly out of place recently, as if something major is about to happen in your life. It is because the spiritual atmosphere around you is shifting rapidly to make room for your divine partner to enter. They just discovered the hidden secret of that night, and their whole body is shaking as they prepare to claim your heart. I am asking you for the final step of trust, which means you must completely let go of the people who hurt you in the past. Your hands must be entirely empty so you can receive this massive blessing I am bringing into your life today. Your soulmate is shaking with the truth of what you endured that night, and they are begging me to lead them directly to you. Jesus says, I know you have tried to bury the memory of that night deep down where no one could ever find it. But I have gently uncovered it and shown it to your soulmate so they can understand exactly how to love you properly. The truth of your quiet suffering has overwhelmed them, and they are shaking with a fierce need to protect your future. Stay connected to my voice until the very end of this message, because the final secret I reveal will bring you immense comfort. I am going to explain exactly how I have been working behind the scenes to orchestrate this beautiful meeting. Your soulmate is shaking with a sense of destiny, driven by the truth of that night to find you without delay. On that specific night when you cried yourself to sleep, you believed you were completely unworthy of a pure, lasting love. I have just shown your soulmate how deeply you loved others even while your own heart was breaking into pieces. They are shaking with profound respect for your strength, realizing that the truth of that night proves your incredible worth. You must remain watchful for the gentle signs I am sending, like a sudden feeling of peace when you are completely alone. These small moments of comfort are my way of telling you that your long season of waiting is finally over. Your soulmate has learned the truth of your hardest night, and they are shaking with the desire to be your safe place. Do not skip ahead, because the ending of this message contains a specific prayer that will open the door to your new life. You need to hear this prayer to fully release the remaining pain from that night into my waiting hands. Your partner is already praying for you, shaking with love as they process the truth of everything you have been through. The Lord says, I was sitting right next to you on that cold night when you whispered that you were ready to give up on love entirely. I took that broken whisper and turned it into a loud call that finally reached the ears of your chosen soulmate. The truth of your despair struck them like lightning, and they are shaking right now as they pack up their doubts to find you. You may have noticed that you are waking up in the quiet hours of the night for no apparent physical reason. This is happening because your spirit is responding to the intense prayers of your soulmate who is calling out to you. They are staying awake, shaking as they think about the truth of that night, asking me to protect you until they arrive. Listen closely until the end, because I am going to share the exact moment tomorrow when you will feel their presence. You must be spiritually prepared for this sign so you can embrace the massive blessing that is rushing toward you. The truth of your past sorrow has unlocked their heart, and they are shaking with a desperate need to kiss your tears away. You have spent years trying to build thick walls around your heart to ensure that night would never happen to you again. I am asking you to slowly lower those walls now, because the person approaching has no intention of ever hurting you. They are shaking with anger at the ones who caused your pain, forever changed by learning the truth of that terrible night. Your willingness to trust me again is the final key that will turn the lock and open your glorious future. You must empty your heart of past resentments so there is enough room for the incredible love your soulmate is bringing. They are shaking with anticipation, holding the truth of that night in their hands as a reminder to always treat you like treasure. Jesus says, I have recorded every single time you felt invisible, especially during that one night when the silence was completely deafening. I have just played that record for your soulmate, allowing them to feel the exact weight of your profound loneliness. They are shaking with deep emotion, realizing that their main purpose in life is to ensure you never feel that way again. Do not close this message early, because the final blessing I have prepared will serve as a shield over your new relationship. I will give you the specific wisdom you need to recognize their face when they suddenly walk into your world. The truth of that night has made them completely focused on finding you, and they are shaking with the effort to reach you. When you stared at the wall on that difficult night, you asked me if anyone would ever fight for your heart. I am answering that question today by sending you a person who is willing to move mountains just to see you smile. They have seen the truth of your silent battles, and they are shaking with a brave determination to fight for your happiness. The feeling of a gentle hand resting on your shoulder when no one is there is not just your imagination playing tricks. It is my comforting spirit, preparing your physical body to accept the genuine love that is walking down your path. Your soulmate just learned the truth about that night, and they are shaking with the urgent need to hold your hand forever. Stay exactly where you are and listen to the end, because I am about to reveal how your lives will finally intersect. You must hold on to these words so your faith remains strong during these last few moments of your waiting season. They are trembling from head to toe, completely overwhelmed by the truth of that night and the pure beauty of your soul. The Lord says, I saw the exact moment you decided to settle for less than you deserved, right after the heartbreak of that terrible night. I refused to let you settle, and I have kept you safely hidden until this perfect person was ready to appreciate you. They just felt the heavy truth of your past compromises, and they are shaking with the promise to give you their absolute best. The sudden desire you have to clean your house and organize your life is a hidden sign from my spirit to yours. You are instinctively preparing your physical space because your soul knows that your divine partner is getting very close. They are shaking with excitement, driven by the truth of that night to sweep you off your feet and change your life. Listen to every word until the end, because I am going to tell you the exact color of the sign I will send tomorrow. This specific detail will prove that I am the one orchestrating this entire love story from behind the heavenly scenes. Your soulmate is currently staring at the sky, shaking with hope, begging me to show them the fastest way to your heart after learning the truth of that night. There were moments during that night when you felt like you were completely losing your mind from the sheer weight of the grief. I was actually holding your mind together, preserving your beautiful sanity for the day when true love would finally arrive. Your future partner has just been shown the truth of your mental struggle, and they are shaking with a deep desire to bring you lasting peace. You must forgive yourself for the mistakes you think you made on that night, because I have already forgiven you entirely. Let go of the heavy guilt so your spirit can be light and free to welcome this incredible person into your arms. They are shaking with unconditional love for you, perfectly understanding the truth of that night without a single ounce of judgment. Jesus says, I have taken the worst memory of that night and transformed it into the very bridge that will connect you to your soulmate. Because you suffered so deeply, they are able to recognize the immense depth and beautiful capacity of your loving heart. They are shaking right now, realizing that the truth of your past pain is exactly what makes you so incredibly precious. Do not leave before the final seal of peace is spoken, because this seal will completely block your past from ruining your future. I am going to give you the exact tools you need to build a flawless foundation with this wonderful person. The shocking truth of that night has made them realize time is short, and they are shaking with the rush to begin your life together. When you felt like your chest was caving in on that night, you wondered if your heart would ever beat normally again. I am here to tell you that your heart is about to beat with a joy you have never experienced before in your life. Your soulmate just felt the truth of your past heartache, and they are shaking with the promise to treat your heart like fragile glass. The strange feeling that someone is constantly watching over you with a warm smile is completely real and accurate. It is the spirit of your true partner, reaching out across the distance to comfort you before they arrive in person. They are deeply moved by the truth of that night, shaking with the profound realization that you are the other half of their soul. Stay focused on my voice until the very last word, because I am about to explain the final step of your waiting journey. You must absorb this final instruction so you do not accidentally push them away when they come rushing in. They are shaking with vulnerability, terrified that they might be too late, all because the truth of that night showed them how much you need them. The Lord says, every single tear you dropped onto your pillow that night was carefully collected and turned into a shining blessing for your future. I have just poured those blessings over the head of your soulmate, opening their eyes to the magnificent reality of who you are. They are shaking under the weight of this divine revelation, fully understanding the bitter truth of what you had to survive. The sudden urge you feel to forgive old enemies is a clear sign that I am cleansing your heart for a new chapter. You must clear out the old, stagnant feelings so the fresh, beautiful love of your soulmate has plenty of room to grow. They just learned the truth of how others betrayed you that night, and they are shaking with a fierce loyalty to always remain faithful. You must listen all the way to the end, because the final blessing will break every generational curse holding your love life back. I am going to permanently sever the ties to your past pain so you can walk freely into this new romance. Your soulmate is shaking with a strong, protective energy, armed with the truth of that night and ready to defend your honor. There was a moment on that night when you looked in the mirror and completely hated the reflection staring back at you. I have just shown your soulmate that exact same reflection, and they think it is the most beautiful face in the entire world. They are shaking with tears of joy, overwhelmed by the truth of your hidden beauty and desperate to tell you how perfect you are. You must stop looking backward at the doors I have already closed, because your future is standing at the front door right now. Empty your hands of the people who walked away, so you can tightly hold the one who is running toward you. They are shaking with purpose, carrying the heavy truth of that night as their motivation to never let you down. Jesus says, I know the silence of that night convinced you that your future was going to be completely empty and devoid of affection. I have completely rewritten your future, and I just handed the new script directly to your destined partner. They are reading the truth of your past sorrow, and they are shaking with excitement to show you how beautiful the next chapter will be. Do not stop listening now, because the final sign I am going to reveal will be the anchor for your entire relationship. You need to know this exact secret so you can look into their eyes and know for certain that I sent them. The truth of that night has stripped away all their foolish pride, and they are shaking with a humble desire to serve your heart. When you felt the cold sting of rejection on that night, you built a fortress around your emotions to survive the winter. I am sending a love so warm and powerful that it will melt the walls of that fortress in a matter of seconds. Your soulmate just felt the freezing truth of your past, and they are shaking with the heat of 1,000 fires to keep you warm. The fleeting thoughts of a happy family that suddenly cross your mind are my way of showing you a preview of your future. I am giving you these sweet visions to build your faith while your partner finishes their journey to your side. They have learned the devastating truth of that night, and they are shaking with a mighty resolve to build a safe home for you. Stay with me for just a little while longer, because the climax of this message will release a massive wave of healing. You must be present to receive this healing so your soul is bright and shining when they finally arrive. They are shaking with anticipation, holding the truth of that night close to their chest as they take the final steps toward you. The Lord says, every time you doubted your own sanity on that night, you were actually fighting a massive spiritual battle for your future joy. I have just shown your soulmate the scars from that battle, and they are absolutely in awe of your incredible resilience. They are shaking with profound admiration, knowing that the truth of your survival makes you the strongest person they have ever known. The random songs that keep popping into your head with lyrics about true love are not just a coincidence of the mind. They are my gentle signals, tuning your heart to the exact same song that is currently playing in your soulmate's spirit. They just heard the truth about that night, and they are shaking as they sing a new song of hope over your future together. You must wait for the final blessing at the end of this message, because it contains the exact key to unlock your joy. If you close this now, you will miss the specific instruction on how to greet them when they suddenly appear. They are shaking with nervous energy, hoping you will accept them after they learn the shocking truth of that lonely night. I remember how you curled up into a ball on that night, trying to make yourself as small and invisible as possible. I have commanded your soulmate to step into your life and make you feel completely seen, valued, and larger than life itself. They are shaking with a beautiful devotion, driven by the truth of that night to ensure you never feel small again. You must take a deep breath and finally release the suffocating grip of your past failures and romantic disappointments.